Hello students, today I am going to start the second organic chapter, that is alcohol, phenols and ethers, right? Students, see the general form of alcohol, phenols and ethers. Here is a discussion of hydroxyl group, right? When hydroxyl group is attached to alkyl group, that is to the open chain, then it is said to be alcohol. When this hydroxyl group OH is attached to the aromatic ring, then it is said to be phenols. Its condensed formula is C6H5OH. And ethers, it is in the form of ROR dash, right? Here R and R dash may or may not be same. Maybe one R may be of aromatic also, that means aryl can be possible instead of one R, right? Clear? So this is the introduction part of alcohol, phenols and ether. These are the forms, clear, by which we can separate them into alcohols, phenols and ethers. Now student, after this introduction there is a classification, like the classification of haloalkanes and haloarenes. So the first classification is based on the number of hydroxyl group, that is mono, di, tri or polyhydric compounds, right? So suppose only one time OH is present, then it is monohydric. When two times, then it is dihydric. When it is three times, then it is trihydric, alcohol or phenol. First of all, we just discuss about the classification of alcohol and phenol. Clear? Now second classification of alcohol is based on hybridization of carbon, that is sp3 and sp2. So the first compounds containing sp3 carbon. Students, here also the first category is primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. Primary, secondary and tertiary. In like primary, secondary and tertiary alkyl halide, here the topic is similar: primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols, right? So if it's connected to OH is connected to carbon, and if that carbon is connected to one more alkyl group, then it is primary. If it connected to two different alkyl group, it is secondary, and when it is connected to three different, then it is tertiary alkyl, means tertiary alcohol. Primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. Now second is on the basis of sp3 hybridization, it is allylic alcohol, right? That OH is attached to a sp3 hybridized carbon next to the carbon-carbon double bond. You can see here the OH is attached to next to the carbon-carbon double bond. Okay students. Now next is the benzylic alcohol. Here also OH group is attached to the sp3 hybridized carbon atom next to aromatic ring. These are the example. Okay. So now these are the three on which or they are based on sp3 hybridization of carbon. Now on the basis of sp2 hybridized carbon or OH bond. From that the first category is vinylic, right? When OH is directly attached to the double bonded carbon, then it is said to be vinylic carbon, or to an aryl group, then it is said to be phenols. Okay. So here same category on the basis of like aryl halide also, instead of OH halogen is there. Here instead of halogen OH is present, and like vinylic halide, here it is vinylic alcohol, where halogen is attached to the doubly bonded carbon. Here OH is attached to the double bonded carbon. So students, I already told you that the same classification we repeat in our next chapter, that is in alcohol, phenols and ethers. So these are the same kind of topic. Instead of halide, only alcohol is there. Okay. Now the classification of ethers. Students, ethers are only classified into symmetrical or unsymmetrical ether, because we already mentioned that R O R dash, right? So if both the R are same, then the ether is symmetric. If R and R dash are different, then it is said to be unsymmetrical ether. Clear, students? Now here these are some question. Classify the following as primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. Okay, students? So very simple. First we just consider the carbon to which OH is directly attached, and then to which if more than one alkyl group is there, then it is primary. If more than only one, then primary. Then if two alkyl group, then secondary. If three alkyl group, then tertiary. Once again, student, don't focus on the length of the alkyl group. Suppose in one sided, suppose 3 carbon alkyl group is present, then it's not said to be it's a tertiary, right? If from 3 sides 3 different alkyl groups are there, then only we can say it is a tertiary. If from its 2-sided alkyl group is present, then it is secondary. Okay, so this is the criteria for separating primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. And the second question is identify allylic alcohols in the above example. So students, when you separate allylic alcohols, you just focus on the alcohol which is connected to sp3 hybridized carbon but next to carbon-carbon double bond. Such kind of alcohols are called allylic alcohols. So the second example you can see, right? Now other you will do. Clear? Now let us start the naming section, that is the common and IUPAC names of some alcohols. So students, here the functional group is OH, right, and its suffix is OL. Okay, and general name we can say alkanols, means we just remove the E of alkane and we just OL. Clear? So if only 1 carbon, then methanol, 3 carbon, then propanol, 2 carbon, then ethanol. So if individually alcohol is present, then it is treated as main functional group. Okay students, it cannot be considered as a prefixes because main functional groups are always present as a suffix. Okay, clear? And suppose when the group is present 2 times and 3 times, then we are using a prefix di or tri before OL, like diol, triol. Okay students, only the difference is if OH is present only once, then we withdraw the E of alkane, right? But when it is 2 times or 3 times present, then we cannot withdraw that one E. We write the complete name, like if it is propane, so completely with E, and suppose at its first, second and third position alcohol is there, so we mention propane 1, 2, 3 triol. You can see the last example, right? And you can see the above example, if only once it is present, so we remove the E of that particular alkane. Okay student, and sidewise their common names are also given, right? It is up to you, like sec butyl alcohol, that means butane 2-ol, because its degree is 2 degree, right? That's why it is sec butyl. Okay, similarly isobutyl. In this way the examples are there. And students, yes, we can treat OH as a prefix, but the condition is when more than one functional group is present. So according to preference series which we covered in class 11, suppose carboxylic is present as well as hydroxyl is present, so in that situation we cannot write like OL, that means all and OIC both as a suffix part. Clear? So according to preference series, OH is treated as a prefix, right? And COH is the main functional group. So we write hydroxy as a prefix used for the OH group. Okay, and yes, definitely we are using carboxyl group as a main functional group. Okay students, so this is the condition. If it is only individually present, so it's never going to be prefix, it's always going to be suffix only, and we always give the lowest position for hydroxyl group. Clear? If it is present to the terminal carbon, that is the end of the carbon, obviously its position is 1, and if it is present in between the carbon, then we consider the lowest position. Okay, I hope you understood the naming of alcohols. Now here are some discussion of cyclic alcohols in the same way, like suppose if we only consider this ring except this OH, so what it is, cyclohexane, but here OH is present. So on ring the position of OH is the first carbon. Clear? So just remove E and write OL, so cyclohexanol. And suppose with respect to in the second compound with respect to OH, one methyl group is present, so definitely the OH belongs to the first position and second one having the second group having the second position, right? Because according to preference, OH is more preference than methyl group. And yes, alkyl groups are always treated as prefixes. So the name of the second compound is 2-methyl cyclopentanol. And if suppose methyl is not present, then it is very simple, cyclopentanol, like cyclohexanol. Okay, students. So here also in ring, students, there is one kind of profit for students. How? Because their position is limited, right? So it is easy to count, and yes, we follow the lowest sum rule and lowest locant rule. These are the condition only. Okay. And the order is similar, like functional group, double bond, triple bond and prefixes. There is no any change. I already told you that in class 12 the easiest part is that whenever we are going to discuss about the naming part, we just discuss about that particular given heading topic. Like alcohol, so we discuss about alcohol only. Phenol, then we discuss about the compounds of phenol only. So this is the easiest part in the case of naming. Okay, friends. Now for phenols, so yes, the simplest hydroxy derivative of benzene is phenol. Its common name and also accepted IUPAC name. Okay, students. So if OH is present with the aromatic name, then it is said to be phenol. And yes, that position is the considered as the main position of the first position. Okay, you can see here some common and IUPAC name. So phenol is the common name, and yes, it is accepted by IUPAC, that is IUPAC name of compound is also phenol. Now when one methyl group is attached, so it's like 2-methyl phenol. With respect to OH, we consider the position of methyl group. Then similarly 3-methyl phenol, 4-methyl phenol. Okay, and yes, the common names are also given. Students, in class 11 you also studied about that position, and I already told you in previous chapter also, in organic compounds some common names are also given. The position of first and second is considered as ortho, first and third is considered as meta, and first and fourth is considered as para. Okay, students. And here also, if 2 times OH is present to the benzene ring, then we cannot say like diphenol, right? Then here also we just first we write the base compound. That means here it is without OH, it is considered benzene. So first we write benzene, and then 1,2 diol. Similarly benzene 1,3 diol, and benzene 1,4 diol. Okay, student. So only for 1 time OH we can use phenol, 2 times we cannot use phenol. It is treated as the derivative of benzene, that is benzene 1,2 diol, benzene 1,3 diol, benzene 1,4 diol. And in the aromatic also, if another functional group is there which is more preference than OH, then again it is treated as a prefix. Okay, students. Now discuss about the naming of ethers. Okay, students, the general name of ether is alkoxyalkane, and you can see this is the format ROR dash. So I already told you that R and R dash may be same or different. So suppose when both the alkyl groups are same, like CH3 OCH3, just see the underlined word we can say. In alkoxy and alkane there is a position of ALK, right? We have to just put the word root of the alkyl group here, and the name is going to complete. Word root of both the alkyl group you just put, and just see the name of the given compound is going to complete. For example, here both are methyl group. So what is the word root of one carbon? Meth. So you just put meth instead of ALK, it's methoxymethane. Now second one is CH3OC2H5, means one side methyl and other side ethyl. So now the question is, it's going to be methoxyethane or ethoxymethane. So it's a very simple concept, right? Alkoxy, in alkoxy part we use the lowest carbon containing group. Okay, lowest alkyl group is treated as alkoxy and the largest is treated as alkane. So it is methoxyethane. Similarly methoxypropane. Okay, and students, these ethers are actually used as a prefix. Okay, it's never going to be suffix. And if to the largest side, if it is present to the first carbon, so no need to write the position. Like methoxypropane, actually this methoxy is attached to the first carbon of propane, right? That's why the position is not required. Otherwise, if you want to write one methoxypropane, then it is also correct. But see the next example where two methoxypropane is there, because one side methyl, other side propyl group, means 3 carbon chain is there. So we just decide that to which carbon of propane this methoxy is present. You can see at its second position methoxy is present. Clear? So its name is 2-methoxypropane. Similarly, one side alkyl and other side benzene ring. So largest part is the benzene and lowest is the alkyl. So here we use methoxy benzene. And suppose students both side C6H5 is there. So one is considered as prefix and the word is phenoxy benzene. Student, here are some examples of ether with common name like methoxymethane, ethoxyethane, 1-methoxypropane, methoxybenzene, right? Ethoxybenzene, 1-phenoxyheptane. Clear? 2-methoxypropane. So it's very simple, student. Don't be panic. It's very simple. Like you consider this ether is like a halogen like way, right? Or it's simply a alkyl group, you can say. If it is present to the first position, no need to write the number, right? It's not compulsory, we can say. If you are going to write the position, then it's also correct. But except first position, if it is present to anywhere, then compulsory we have to put the position, otherwise it's going to be wrong. Okay students, I hope it is clear to you. And yes, if any other group is present which is used as a prefix, we follow the alphabetical order. It's not compulsory that we always start with the ether only, right? E, we follow the E. Okay students, so I hope you understood the classification part as well as the IPEC naming. So our next topic is preparation of alcohol and phenols. Today we discuss some topic regarding the preparation of alcohols, right? Students, the first method is by using alkanes, right? From alkanes. Okay, what's the condition? When alkanes react with water in the presence of acid as catalyst to form alcohols. In case of unsymmetric alkenes, the addition reaction takes place in accordance with Marconi's rule. Okay, so you can see some example. First example, ethene changes to ethanol by simply adding H2O, and yes, acid catalyst, that means concentrated H2SO4 is used. And if it is propene, then it is changes to propane 2-ol, right? So in the case of odd number, very simply, or in the case of unsymmetrical ether, we follow this Marconi's rule. And here if it is symmetrical, its the position is fixed. Clear? Okay, suppose it is butene, so the product is butane 2-ol. Okay students, and here it is propane, so product is propane 2-ol. So where the attachment is going to occur, the carbon to which less hydrogen is present, on that carbon there is a attachment of hydroxyl group. Clear? So first point, students, this method is used as a complete the reaction or conversion, like convert ethene to ethanol or propane to propane 2-ol. Now regarding this reaction or this preparation, one mechanism is given, right? And this mechanism of, according to Marx point of view, it is a 3 Marx mechanism. It's a 3-step mechanism, right? How this ethene undergoes the formation of ethanol, right? So it's very much important also. So now let us discuss this mechanism. So the first step is, here water is changes to hydronium ion, that is the H plus from acid combined with H2O to form H3O plus, and then this H3O plus is used during the protonation of alkene to form carbocation. So student, you can see ethene react with this hydronium ion, right? One hydrogen is attached, so attachment of hydrogen is called protonation, and H2O is removed. Clear? The compound which formed after the addition of H2 ethene is called a carbocation. There is a plus charge on the carbon atom, right students? Clear? Students, this first step is very much important. If you complete this first step now, so second and third step is very easy for you. Why? Because just compare the second, that is nucleophilic attack. The product of first step is treated as the reactant of second step. You can see the same product we write in the case of the reactant of second step. Okay, and this is the nucleophilic attached. This H2O is completely attached to that positively charged carbon atom of that carbocation. Very simply we can say this H2O is going to attach and it forms a new product. Clear? So this water is attached to the carbocation. Now you see, we required only OH to that carbon. So here one H is extra in the product of second step. So we have to remove that H. In the first step, proton is donated to that group. That means protonation occurs. Now we have to remove that hydrogen. So deprotonation is required here. So the last step is deprotonation to form an alcohol. So during deprotonation, again we just repeat the product of second step as a reactant of third step. Here it combines with H2O. One H is removed with H2O to form hydronium ion, that we again use in the first step. So that repetition is going on. Clear? So H is removed, deprotonation occurs, and we get our final ethanol. So this is the step, this is the mechanism, each step of 1 mark. So very simple. If you complete your first step, that is the protonation part, then you can simply complete second and third step. Okay students, clear to you? First you try to write the product, then you start the use of arrow, right? Student, actually it is related to the attachment. Suppose in the first step, one arrow from left of carbon to hydrogen, it shows the attachment, that at which carbon hydrogen is attached, and the bond, the arrow, the curve arrow between H and O, it's if the heterolytic type fission, that H is removed and the bond pair is changes to lone pair. So in this way we represent all these arrow movements are from class 11 based on the fission of the covalent bond and the attachment. Clear students? Now second method is from carbonyl compound. Carbonyl means especially CO group is there, and it is especially in aldehyde, ketone and carboxy. So first one is the discussion of by using aldehyde and ketone, and by reduction process we can convert aldehyde to alcohol and ketone to alcohol. The difference is after reduction aldehyde changes to primary alcohol, and after reduction ketone changes to secondary alcohol. Yes, both type of alcohols can be possible. So as well as suppose we are using a concept of conversion, right, and we have to convert aldehyde to primary alcohol, and you are start with suppose ketone, so it's not possible. Yes, very simple. What kind of alcohol is formed from the reduction of aldehyde? Your answer is primary. What kind of alcohol is prepared from the reduction of ketone? Your answer is secondary, right? So this is very important. Aldehyde gives primary alcohol and ketone gives secondary alcohol. I hope you understood. And the reagents are in the reduction with aldehyde. Generally we are using nickel, platinum or palladium, and with ketones especially like sodium borohydride or lithium aluminum hydride. Aldehyde is primary alcohol whereas ketone gives secondary alcohol. So this is the main important point of this particular method. Okay, and last, by using acid to convert alcohol. Yes, acid on reduction gives primary alcohol only, and here the reducing agent is lithium aluminum hydride. Okay, clear students? So aldehyde gives primary, ketone gives secondary, and acid also gives primary alcohol. And one method is commercially acids are reduced to alcohol by converting them to ester, followed by their reduction using hydrogen in the presence of catalyst. So first, it's based on like class 10th esterification process. Carboxylic acid react with alcohol to gives ester, and ester on reduction gives alcohol, right? But it gives a mixture of alcohol, we can say. Two alcohols we get from ester. Okay students, so these are the method. In the next video we continue with this preparation onwards. Okay, so we just complete two methods of preparation of alcohol, one from alkenes and one from carbonyl compounds. Okay, so from the next video, we start with the other method of preparation of alcohols. Thank you students.